Another common type of hair fall is telogen effluvium or stress induced hair fall. Whenever you are exposed to some stressor, it may be a physical stressor, for example some illness, some recent surgery, any prolonged illness or autoimmune disease, or it may be a childbirth, or if you have some kind of emotional stress, for example death of a close one or a breakup or anything, so that affects your hair follicles. You may have hair loss. This is known as telogen effluvium. Why the name? Because hair has a cycle. So there are 3 stages in a hair cycle. The one is the growing phase or the anagen phase, the second is the resting phase or telogen phase, and the third is the shedding phase or catagen phase. So once you are under some stress, it takes almost 2 to 6 months to see hair shedding or hair fall. So when you have a client with this kind of a hair fall, you should evaluate, you should take a history, and you should go back to a period of 6 months to see if there was any stress factor, any illness, any emotional stress. Only then you can come to a diagnosis. Whenever the hair follicles are exposed to stress, the body releases some stress hormones like cortisol, corticosteroid. These hormones, they act on the hair follicle, on the shaft, on the follicle, and they transfer the hair from the anagen phase to the telogen phase. Telogen phase is the resting phase. So when more hair are transferred from the growing phase to the resting phase, eventually these hair will shed, as a result of which once we experience some stress, after a few months there is more and more shedding of hair. Hence the name telogen effluvium, and the patient will come to you saying that he is facing a lot of hair fall. So I have already told you there may be a number of factors or number of causes which lead to this condition. We should know that this condition is reversible because it is because of the stressor, and if we relieve the stressor, gradually the condition reverses and we are able to grow the hair follicles back. So what are the other causes that lead to hair fall or hair thinning? Any medical condition, like there may be some autoimmune disease or thyroid dysfunction, or there may be some nutritional deficiencies like iron deficiency, zinc deficiency, B12 or vitamin D3 deficiency. Any other infections like scalp infection, dandruff may contribute to hair loss, or there may be some other skin diseases like psoriasis that can also lead to significant hair fall. Another cause is taking some medications or drugs like anticoagulants or antidepressants. This can also increase the shedding phase of the hair. Then taking chemotherapy or radiation therapy for any kind of carcinomas. This is a very important cause of hair fall. Some females, they go in for excessive hair styling or use hot tools for the hair styling, or the excessive bleaching or dyeing of hair, and they pull their hair and they do tight ponytails. This is also a very important cause of hair fall, especially in sick people. Because of tying of turban, they start losing hair from the temples. This is known as traction alopecia. Another important cause is environmental, maybe due to the quality of water. Some people who come back from Australia, we have many clients who come from Australia and they say the water quality is not good, and they feel that they have excessive hair fall because of the water quality in Australia. So now, how to evaluate a patient who comes for hair loss? First thing is we should take a history. We should take a medical history, whether he is suffering from any condition, any illness, any autoimmune disease. We should get a thyroid history, and then we should get some tests done that will include the thyroid profile, any hormonal assay if there is any symptoms of PCOD or any perimenopausal condition. Then serum ferritin levels, because iron deficiency also leads to hair fall. Then vitamin D3 and B12, all these tests are mandatory for any patient of hair fall. The next is we should examine the scalp for any infection or any skin disease, and then we should examine trichoscopy for the shaft of the hair and for the hair follicle. So this is a basic thing, but let me tell you, most of the clients who come to our OPD for hair fall, there is no condition, no cause for hair fall. More often it's the androgenetic alopecia, or in some patients they may be facing some stress because of which they have hair fall. So the most common cause is genetic. What to do now? What are the treatments available for hair fall?